Chauvin faces an upgraded charge of second-degree murder instead of third. The other 3 officers are accused of aiding and abetting murder. And tonight we are hearing from George Floyd's son.
And no man or woman should be without their fathers. It's so emotional that we want justice for what's going on right now.
Floyd's first memorial service is scheduled for tomorrow in Minneapolis, where he was killed. Civil rights activist and MSNBC host Reverend Al Sharpton will deliver the eulogy. As news of new charges circulates, protests are still rippling through the country and here in North Texas. A live look now in Fort Worth. Hundreds of people are out in the streets. This demonstration started around 3 o'clock today. It is still going strong. At 8 p.m., the curfew is in effect for the city, and that goes for the next several days. Same thing on a slightly smaller scale happening in Dallas right now. Dallas police estimate about 300 people started walking from City Hall and are moving to the downtown area right now. Police are keeping a distance, mostly handling traffic control like they did yesterday, but no major issues to report at this point. George Floyd's death is not the only at the hands of police brutality. There's a long list of victims dating back decades. And in 2020, people are still demonstrating for justice and equal rights. Nearly 80 years after the 1960s civil rights movement began. Now calls for reform beg the question, how do we get here? Ben Sims joins us after speaking with some educators about this. Vince?
Yes, Meredith, the perspective you get really depends on who you ask about this. For some, we've always been in this state of unrest in America. For others, it goes back to the very beginning of the country's creation. Watching people protesting around North Texas and the country, it's easy for Dr. George Keaton Jr., Executive Director of Remembering Black Dallas, to know why it's happening. He says social media and online engagement has energized young people.
Have become more aware, and not only that, television and movies has produced documentaries and movies that reflected the past, and I think the younger people now have been brought aware of that, black and white, and so they really had enough.
But he says what's brought us to this point is not a new issue.
It's really systemic from the very beginning of us coming to this country.
The reality is that we have always been here. The very origins of policing in America began with slave patrols in the early 1700s.
Dr. Michael Waters, lead pastor of Abundant Life AME Church Dallas, agrees. He says this started with slavery. But beyond that, both men agree Jim Crow laws and segregation continue to fuel the need to fight for social justice.
With that said, they're still around, and if the laws aren't still around, mentality and the practice is still around. And the younger generation, they've had enough.